day 2 of the Scrap Your Heart Out YouTube hop. For those who are new to my channel, welcome. Today I am sharing a project life layout for week 11 of my 2016 project life. So if you are new today, just to let you know, on the title cards for every week, I use the same title cards throughout my entire album just to create some consistency throughout my entire album. And so I keep those title cards pretty simple, and I just add a little bit of embellishment and then stamp the dates. And I was going to cut this out, but I wanted to leave it in to show that sometimes you have the best intentions and it just goes wrong. So I placed that wood veneer there and I went ahead to stamp, and right there I go, because I had pressed too hard, and because that wood veneer was there, it just stuck, kept a little bit of the stamp up and made a big fat mess. So I didn't like how it looked. I thought maybe if I move the wood veneer, I could save it, and then I just said, ugh, forget it, I'm gonna reprint it. And that was me throwing a little fit because I knew I had to reprint it. So I'm gonna come back to that, but now I'm just gonna move on to the rest of the left side of my layout. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay out the right side of my layout just so I can see balance throughout my entire spread. Now, I've talked about this in previous videos, but again, if you're new to my channel today, I go mostly for balance in my layouts. So sometimes I'll go chronologically left to right in my layouts as far as my photos that I took the week, and other times I just go for balance. So I could have something that happened on Sunday on the left side or the right side. It doesn't really matter to me. To me, I look at it as a snapshot of our week. So sometimes things will be in order, sometimes they won't. For me, it doesn't really matter. I'd rather like the way that it looks and that I have balance of color and embellishments across the entire page rather than moving in chronological order. So I just went ahead and showed you there how I use that stamp. It is an Allie Edwards stamp from her story kit and stamped first on it. And I used my typewriter and did my journaling on this moment card and the other little card on the right side of my spread. So here I am back with my title card. So I'm just going to go ahead and this time, so I don't make any mistakes, I'm going to measure out where that wood veneer piece is going to go, and then I'm going to ink up my stamp, and then I'm going to clean off the edges to make sure there's no over stamping. So I'll date it with the beginning of the week through the end of the week. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue my wood veneer piece down. Now, of course, I did not measure it out perfectly, so it will be a little bit covered up, but it will work just fine because I didn't want to have to print it out again a third time. So here I'm just using a little stamp also from Allie Edwards story kit, and it's just those little double arrows. And then I'm going to glue that wood veneer piece down, and then that will complete my title card for week 11. So now I'm ready to go ahead and complete the rest of the spread by adding some embellishments. So I grab a little tub that I keep on my table, and I'm going to go ahead and look for some little embellishments to add to the title card and throughout the rest of the week. So I like the idea of adding a wood veneer onto this title card, but I did not, because that other wooden piece, I didn't measure the area right. I needed to change it up for a different one. So I went ahead and in my stash I found that little wood veneer heart, and I went ahead and placed that on my title card. Now here is another stamp from Allie Edwards, and this is a photo of all my little guys holding some fresh eggs from a chicken coop that we went to. So I wanted to go ahead and stamp in the center of the photo. So I'm going to grab some Stays On ink, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that in the center of my photo with all their hands in holding those cute little eggs. So to stamp on the center of my photo, I decided to use my stamp press just to make sure that I got in the center of the photo, and the stamp press just makes it a little bit easier to make sure that I can move around the stamp just a little bit and then go directly down onto the photo and then lift it right back up and not have any smudges. So I like to use my stamp press anytime that I am stamping on photos. So there I went ahead and stamped out on that photo, and I did end up wanting it just a little bit darker. So in a minute I'm going to grab a slick writer and I'm going to go ahead and go over those words just to make sure that it's nice and dark and you can see it well on the photo. So I'm going around my whole spread, and I have these little chipboard pieces that are from the Everyday collection from Becky Higgins, and I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that I have balance across the entire layout. So I don't know if you can see it in the picture there, but all those little chipboard pieces have the days of the week on them. So I'm just spreading them out across the entire layout with the days of the week. I also added a chipboard piece to that card on the upper right to pull a little bit more yellow to the upper part of my layout, again to make sure there's colors balanced across the entire layout. So right there I'm showing that I took all the 3x4 photos, or the 4x6 photos, over to my typewriter, and I just typed directly onto the photos. I like to do that when I have a lot of white space, just to add my journaling directly to the photos. I love the way that looks, and just adds a little bit more consistency throughout the layout by adding my journaling onto all those 4x6 cards. So there my slick writer ran out of ink, so I'm just grabbing another one, and again I'm going over that stamping that I did on that 4x6 card. Now I don't know if my Stays On is just running out of ink or that particular photo was really sticky and so the ink stuck to it. Earlier in the video you saw me kind of have to pull it off. So hopefully I'm gonna just get a new ink and then maybe that'll fix it, or maybe with these photos another type of ink might work a little bit better. So now I'm just slipping all my photos and journaling into the pockets, and there is the left side, and then now going over to the right side of the layout, sliding everything in. As you can see, my style is pretty simple. I like to stick to a color scheme, make sure I have balance across the layout, and use just a little bit of embellishments to create a beautiful spread. So thanks so much for stopping by today. Make sure you stay tuned to the end for some photos, and again, thank you to Erica and all our sponsors at Click Hits and everyone else who contributed to our hop. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.